Ever since I've switched to Schaeffer's oil, I've never had a reason to even try anything else. And that's one thing that I'm proud about, is the fact that I can't tell you how good something else is, because I know how good Schaeffer's oil is. My engine builders, Tony and Glenn Clements, have said about the oil we run. They've told us that out of all the motors that they get and rebuild every year, ours looks the best, and a lot of that has to do with the oil that we run. One of the things that I love about Schaeffer's oil is the fact that all of their reps are out in the field and at the racetracks with us, seeing what all the racers need, seeing what ideas we have or anything that we can improve on. And you just can't beat the customer service of having a rep for, you know, one of the main components of our race team, whether it's at our engine oil, transmission fluid, rear end oil, having somebody there that represents that brand and also gives us support and also the knowledge that we need to be making the right calls and just helping us out with our entire racing program. It means a lot to our race team to have that. My name's Chris Ferguson, and I drive the number 22 dirt late model. I've been using Schaeffer's oil racing products since 2009. I absolutely have no doubt that we're using the best products that is possible for dirt late model racing.
For generations, fans of IndyCar could only dream of stepping into the cockpit and feeling the rush of going wheel to wheel at over 200 miles per hour. Thanks to the latest in sim racing technology, we can get one step closer. Talented, fearless drivers battle it out in virtual race cars to claim supremacy at some of the world's most demanding tracks. This is the RIL, Schaeffer's IndyCar Series, presented by RaceBurst.
All right, well, hello and welcome to RaceBurst coverage of the Revolution Indy League from, well, there's a part here that I need to get. Schaeffer's IndyCar Series from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It might be anyway, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Is that the correct term, Gary?
Yes.
Okay, well, we've got a certain treat for you guys tonight. We're running kind of the Toys R Us parking lot, Caesars Palace parking lot version of the Las Vegas Motor Speedway double header here tonight. We're going to be running the road course configuration here. We're in the middle of qualifying, about 3 minutes to go. Nate Schaeffer currently provisional pole. And this is going to be an exciting race. This is literally probably the first time, at least in a league of this caliber, has run this track. So we have this website called Sim Racer Hub that kind of keeps track of all the cars that IndyCar's ever run on, in the sim anyway, on a proper league. And literally nobody's ever run this before. So this is new stuff, new territory for everybody. The track, kind of a club track, what they call a club track, and although I was discussing with you, Gary, earlier, it was called Blancpain. I don't know what they're currently calling it, but they ran it a little bit slightly different configuration of this in the GT3s. They had some chicanes and maybe some better curbs rather than a tire barrier at the fastest corner like they just saw on screen. But this is obviously the site of also a tragic place kind of in IndyCar history with the passing of Dan Weldon in 2011. So this is a track that's a little bit infamous in IndyCar world since that time, and I know a particular league, you know the league, Gary, that just won't run here for that reason. But we're going to run it tonight. and we've run it in other leagues before with some crazy experiences.
Yeah, Velocity Online Racing Series, they ended their IndyCar Series 2 seasons ago here. Actually resulted for a podium for me there. So actually, I have no idea what to expect on this thing. I'm surprised I even have a track map to follow when I hit the track map button. I really didn't expect Race Lab apps to pop up anything. So props to them for actually having a map on this track. They use about 9/10, 8/10 of the oval. I'll expect one really tiny portion of it, and that's where there's where they go down the backstretch and they enter the infield, and then the portion where they are in the infield and they exit going back out onto the course. I mean, that there's maybe a third of a mile at late, or less, much less. That just fills in that little gap, and that makes it they'll be running the whole oval. So effectively, they are running basically the entire oval. So we're going to see them in the high downforce package, and I've been hearing that when you're in the draft, you're going to be on the rev limiter. So maybe it's going to be really hard to pull out and pass somebody on the oval portion, because once you pull out and pass somebody or pull out. You're already hitting the rev limiter, and you're going to hit that big wall of air, and I don't really see that happening for pulling off successful passes. But
well, we're going to see. We're going to find out, aren't we?
19 seconds to go, 18 seconds to go. Seifert, Johnson, Gavin Sanders, Christopher Hill, Caleb Benson, your top 5. Interesting about this racetrack, though, this is Las Vegas has gone under a number of reconfigurations. It's the one that it's in now is the one it's been since the last IndyCar last visited here in 2011. But when originally IndyCar came here as part of the end of its 96 calendar year area, that was a race that Richie Hearn won. It was a flat track.
Yeah,
it did not have banking.
Or
had very minimal banking and everything. Of course, also Las Vegas was a site of a pretty famous IndyCar flip on the backstretch. That was Roberto Guerrero in the '97 season finale for that Indy Racing League. He drove up on the back of Marco Greco and sent his car airborne. That shows up on sometimes a lot of highlight shows or whatnot. But yeah, that's just some notable things about Las Vegas and IndyCars, and really none of it's good. Also, it's one of those sites that IndyCar it participated on both sides of the kart civil war, or the IndyCar Civil War. Kart and IRL both ran here.
Yeah, one of the few tracks that.
Yeah,
and this is early IRL too, right? I think they had a race in '96, didn't they?
Yeah, so they were the first series to race on the track, and it was so new that when they were taking the green flag, dust was literally still flying from the track because they never really got a chance to run it and clear a lot of the debris off it and everything. So IndyCar was the very first, and that was the IRL, and that's when they were actually using the old 95 chassis,
yes,
or less,
or even a 91 maybe,
or 91 Lola Buick or whatever. Yeah. If they could put an engine on it, and if it would feel, they would throw it on the grid then. And not a lot of cars finished that race, but in fact, so many wrecks in that particular race that ABC ran out of time, and we never really saw. We never saw Richie Hearn take the checker flag.
Okay, I didn't realize that was that one. So here's another interesting thing about this track. So usually on a Roval, we'd start at the usual oval start-finish line. Here tonight, we're going to be starting kind of in the infield, and you can see here on the camera. Where I'm saying it's like in an abandoned Toys R Us parking lot. Sorry, Gary. It's not the most aesthetically pleasing place to look at from here. But yeah, we're going to have a full pace lap here.
Good. I got time to read the lineup because we actually have quite a few drivers that showed up.
Yes, we do. So let's get that going, and I'll get it started, Gary. So we got Nate Schaeffer, our Formula Indy Series champion. On the pole, he's also currently P1 in the championship points. Gavin Sanders, P2. Caleb Benson, P3. Nicholas Johnston, a little bit better qualifying this week. Last week, he started about, 11th or so and actually finished in the top 5, so good for him. Brett Nichols, P5. Chris Hill, P6.
Sean Ryan, P7. Johan sorry. And we'll get it right eventually. P8. The series champ, Dakota DeMed. The number 1 badge car, P9. Ian Lake, P10. Matthew Short, P11. And Joshua Tucker in 12.
I might have a slightly different grid here than you, but I have time to reload this thing, Gary. So we've got plenty of time. This is going to be a long pace lap. So let me just reload that, and I'll continue. What were we on, 13th?
Yeah, 13th.
Okay, well, we're doing it live, as they say. Car's pulling away. We're okay. All right, so I've got Christian Jasper, P13, Logan Spath, P14, Lucas Santos, P15, Cody Claiborne, JJ Wang, Dan Neese. I believe Dan Neese has an EOL penalty, though. We'll see about that.
Aiden Herman in 19th, Christopher Kresge in 20th, Michael Holler 21st, Drew White 22nd, James Watson 23rd, and Jonathan Libator in 24th.
We got Pete Donchak, P25, Nicholas Isidro, P26, Nick Manori, and P27. Michael Hennekamp making another start here in the field. Alex Teeter, P29, and I'll just read out the rest of the no qualifiers here, but we got Angelo Espo, Shane Coogan taking no qualifying lap, Jake Akey taking 32nd. So that is all of our cars here. We'll see if everybody starts here tonight. And again, we're starting in the infield, not across start-finish line like we'd expect, as where cars are heading across there now, but that is not where we're starting. So in terms of pit strategy, Gary, and I mentioned this a little bit in chat earlier today, literally this is a short race. We're running like about 50 miles or so, a little bit, maybe a little bit more. It's almost exactly the fuel that we're going to use. It's exactly the race, but we still have the whole you are required to use both tire compounds here, so there will be a pit stop. That will just be, it's almost like a Formula One race where you're not going to take any fuel. It's just going to be a tire pit stop.
Yep, and there might be some people that add a little bit depending on how they do conserve. If they do are on the bad side, they might use a little bit more than they need to. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's just tires only, and so you might see some people actually duck in rather early, get these tires off, and get that switch over. But I'm looking at everybody with the exception of Dakota, who is in P8 at the moment, and he's just it's flipping around right now because we're on a slow pace lap.
Yeah.
That's basically the first 3 rows for sure are all on the prime tire. Dakota's the first car on the alternate tire. And then you'll find more smatterings of the alternate tire back as the field goes back further. But everybody up front is on prime.
Yeah, so the setup is made by yours truly here. So I expected this to be a black tire race. I think they're going to run the black tires the most. I think the red tires, they're just going to run for a handful or even less laps. So we'll see what these drivers do. We're about to go green here. The pace car is going to duck off in another couple corners, and this will be the first time, as far as I understand, an IndyCar league has ever started this. It could be the first broadcast of an IndyCar league from this particular.
Well, here we go.
Very, very tricky technical course on the interior here. Green
flag.
Getting these cars through first few corners onto the oval is going to be really tricky. You do not want to drive off into that. I do see a car. I think it was Logan Spath, maybe Hayden Herman. I think it was Logan.
Shane Coogan started from pit road. Car spinning, coming onto oval turn 3.
Lucas Santos.
Ian Lake.
Okay. Nate Schaeffer is going to take the lead here early on as I adjust our lap counter there. It was ticking down time from qualifying. Chris Hill having a really good start, moving from P6 to P3.
Yeah, he got moved up to the front row. I'm not sure why. There must have been a penalty or something involved there, but
yeah, maybe I might have had the wrong qualifying stuff for the top 6 there, but he's still maintaining that.
Yeah, Seifert putting some distance between himself and Gavin Sanders, already up to a 1.2 second lead, and getting ready to actually not so used to seeing getting ready to start a next lap when they're coming across the regular start finish line.
Yes.
They're already on the lap.
I'm going to go on board with Dakota, and we're from the start finish line, and I'm going to go and kind of show these our viewers watching this track from the roll bar once we get back around. JJ Wang up to 12th. JJ loves the Roval, so a really good position for him at the moment. Oh, we got Rhett Nichols, I believe, off into the corner coming into the oval, or the interior road course section.
Yep.
Really easy to overcook that one.
And moves Dakota up to P7.
All right, we're going on board with Dakota. Then we're going to come across the start-finish line, as we said.
Yeah, right there, start-finish line.
Easing into turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. Little doggy fence or something there on the left. Through turn 4, our corner numbers is going to be a little tricky from here. But they can run the apron across start-finish line. This would be the oval finish line. Apparently there is a flagman there still. Through oval turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, big bumps down low there in the oval. We'll be talking about that later tonight when we get onto the oval race. Now we're to the point where actually at the Roval at Charlotte, there's the backstretch chicane, and that's about where this turn is located physically on the track, give or take. And it turns them right back into the infield, and it's like threading the needle because they have to navigate between all of those tire barriers and 2 gates.
That's right. Very narrow. And that is a lap here of the Las Vegas Roval here. Pretty insane course from our previous series champion there. Nate up there has gapped it up about 1.8 seconds over Gavin. Chris Hill, let me confirm. So he started 4th, so he was in the 2nd row. I think we had that a little bit messed up. Caleb is up to 4th, started 5th. Not sure who our biggest mover is in here. JJ Wang is up from 7th.
Oh, and Schaeffer missed the turn into the infield.
Oh, this is what really easy to do. Got a cone on his front wing there. It falls off. We'll get a replay of that if we can. He gets going, though, luckily for him.
Yeah, the top 5 really strung out, so he was able to plug himself right back in to that group and pretty comfortably. And now it is Sanders, Hill, Bency, Ryan, and now Seifert in P5, Johan P6, Dakota up to P7, Isidro P8, Tucker P9, and Short now in P10. JJ Wang up to 11th.
Well, Nate wasn't the only one that's done that. We saw Rhett Nichols do it earlier. I'm sure there's been other cars out there.
Oh, and I'm sure there's going to be many more before this is over.
Yeah.
We're only a quarter of we're actually a 5th of the way through.
Yes.
Lap 5 of 25. Very odd corner. You're coming down off a bit of banking there on the backstretch. So the cars are going to kind of unevenly come off the banking onto the apron, which is a lot more flat. And of course, we've said it over and over again. These cars do not like to bend.
Yeah, and just with these tires, either with the red tires particularly, but I've heard even the black tires can get pretty squirrely after a few laps. So we've got Shirazi and Dakota. Well, no, is that... Where did Dakota go? Oh, he ducked into the pits, and we got another, maybe a lap car in there.
So, yeah, it looks like Dakota wants to get those tires off.
Yeah, he's going to go to the end of this race on the black tires. Yeah, we discussed that. He did a handful of laps. Ooh, Shirazi locking up his front tires. Yeah, and something we talked about, Gary. So there's some camera packs that we have for these tracks. Certainly no third-party camera packs that can make
nothing special at all. Yeah, so we don't have a lot of fancy angles for you. Just kind of standard issue.
It really is standard issue. Yeah, and they're not even particularly good. Like, they're very average, these camera angles that we get from here. I'll do some onboard though. Like, I'll go from a left front suspension here. Oh, we had a car coming out of the pits, or maybe I have.
Yeah, that whole we'll see. We'll talk more about that too. Also, as these guys make their pit stops and try to rejoin traffic at that point. Very odd rejoin area.
Very odd. Most of our drivers, the first time they come out of the pits, they're like, "Where is the first turn?" Because they just have no clue where it really is. No experience at this particular track.
Cody Claiborne between Gavin and Hill there for P1 and P2. Not a lot of runoff area. Not a lot of areas where you can dip your tire and not be sending it off in the dirt.
Yeah, so having driven this, building the setup, as JJ Wang enters the pit, that off-track stuff on the infield, it's like ice. You do not want to go into it. It's not grippy at all, and because you can just slide into the barriers once you get into it.
That top 5 have really separated themselves from the rest of the top 10. There's a 14-second gap between P6 and P7. A little bit of a rough turn into the infield for Gavin. Has it recovered, back underway, but it gets Cody a little bit closer to the back end as well as Hill there.
One thing I was going to mention, I just noticed this. You know how Isidro usually runs the, a Newman Haas?
Yeah.
He's actually got a different livery for this tonight's race. He's running a Dan Weldon throwback. So, making his call to do a throwback to...
the William Rast, yeah.
Yes, he is.
Of course, that car never ran on a road course, but in fact, it led the fewest number of laps to win a 500. One, and it really wasn't a lap. It was like mere feet. That's all you need to do.
Trying to figure out... Okay, yeah, it's Chris Hill and Cody, as you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
Cody's hit, and I think Hill has not.
Yeah.
So this is where
Hill gets around Cody there. Cody lets him duck by when they were turning to the infield portion. So now Hill is in dirt.
These laps are going to be.
Yeah.
A lot of traffic.
Hill is now in direct contact with Gavin. Gavin, a little squirrely coming there off of the final corner, heading down the pit straights.
So these cars that have started with the black tires, we saw Dakota, he started on red tires. He pitted lap 5, lap 6. So these cars that are running the black tires, they're going to try to go to lap 20 just about, and then switch on over to the reds.
Gavin on push to pass right here, trying to put some distance between himself and Christopher Hill. Caleb back on push to pass. He's currently in P3. About 3 seconds behind, 3.5 seconds really behind this battle.
Well, you were saying that these drivers are redlining it possibly in the draft sometimes. So this push to pass, that sends up the rev limiter up to 12,250 from just 12,000. So that's certainly useful on that straightaway there if they're redlining under normal conditions.
Now, there's Kresge off there in the final turn. It looks like he's coming to pit road. How using push to pass is going to impact? Will they still be able to use go one stop, or will they have to add fuel in that one stop?
Yeah. See, I didn't. Kresge does have a damaged front wing, but to answer your question, that would certainly burn some fuel. But I think they're going to gain it all, assuming they're following somebody in the draft. I think they're going to gain that all back. In the few laps that they've made have followed somebody, been getting that good draft, they would have saved some fuel from that bit. So I think if anybody's putting fuel in and it's not going to add any time on a pit stop, it's going to be it's going to be less than a gallon that they're adding, basically a gallon and a half at most.
Last time by, Gavin Sanders with a 101.244. Hill with a 101.090, so Hill's slightly faster at this point on the run. Purple lap is Nate Seifert, set back closer to the start with the 59.915 with those fresher red tires.
Side by side,
black tires.
Isidro and Tucker, they were side by side into the corner. That brings us to the infield. A lot of cooperation required to make a pass there, and these drivers have been cooperating so far. It's almost like when I think of that, Gary, I think of it's like at Indianapolis when you're passing somebody. There's a lot of cooperation that goes on with the pass there that you just kind of, you've lost the position, you kind of give it up. I'm talking real life Indianapolis.
Yeah.
In the
Tucker is. I'm sorry, we were watching that again. Tucker.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was going to give a little bit of the chrome horn to the backside there of Isidro, but came short. but he's going to have the draft now to help him maybe. Oh, no, he's just going to go right side by side here on the tri-oval.
And both drivers have driven all of their laps here on the same tires. Isidro on red as Tucker makes that pass. He's on the black tires, so those black tires seem like, they've made that crossover point where they're certainly faster at this point. Ooh, somebody, oh man, it was, who was that? I think it might have been a lapped car. Yeah, it wasn't for position. Somebody lost it coming into that corner on the back straightaway.
Might have been Alex Teeter, I think.
Yeah, it could have been. Dakota and P13 coming up on Kresge, who is a lap down. Had a change of his front wing.
Yeah, so all these guys in front of Dakota have to pit.
Let's see, he is 46 seconds back from Gavin.
Isidro on pit road.
So I think, Dakota's going to get back up into, he was like, what, about P7, P8 when the caution, or when the caution came out, when he went to the pit lane?
Yep.
And now he's kind of on the preferred tire. And I don't think he's really been held up by anybody so far here. Like, that's the risk with taking early pit stop, is you're going to get held up by some driver.
And Dakota still has most of his pushed passes left. He's got 9, so he's got himself in a good spot when those guys start dipping down on the pit road. Mm-hmm. Maybe start hitting them and try to improve those lap times.
As I said, Josh Tucker made those passes, and apparently he hasn't used any push to pass.
Oh, Dakota missed the turn into the infield. That's going to cost him.
Oh, boy. Which we've seen a number of times tonight. Get a replay of that one. He's running the Voltic pistol car tonight. He'll be running a different car later tonight for the oval race. Oh, yeah. I think he, that was precautionary. Like, I bet he could have made that, but, there's no point in risking the car. Just getting to the end of this race is the most important thing. So.
Yeah. Effectively, this is a double points kind of event. You got single points here, and then again when you go to the oval, you'll get single points there. So if you compete in both, it's double points for you in one night.
Nate Siefker, Sean Ryan. I might be delayed here. Yeah, Nate has some damage on his side pod, so he's gonna have some repairs on that. He's got part of his side pod hanging off. Don't know where that came from. I'll see if I can try to find it. I'll go back about a minute. See, it might have already. Oh, he had trouble. He overshot, and then I think Isidro, the same corner, like the Dakota corner there. Oh, he comes across. I bet Isidro is not happy. He can't. Nate came across as Isidro was coming to the corner. So, plenty of replay there. That was in front of an Infinity Racing Team car. Maybe wasn't JJ. We've got a couple other. It might have been Johnston or Short. Not sure who it was though.
Gavin has now got Christopher Hill all over the back end of his car. Of course, Gavin now is well into the lap traffic.
Yes, he is.
There is that's Libator. So Libator was moved out of the way. And next up is Dakota. Libator is multiple laps down. That Dakota would be the first car not a lap down.
Yep. I would imagine that that these guys here are thinking about when they want to hit that pit lane.
10 to go.
Yeah, Hill is really eating into this lead that Sanders has here. I don't know if Sanders got slowed up by some lap traffic, something like that. Ooh, a lot of
and some of these corners, there's not a lot of braking markers for braking.
No,
you got to feel it out, and this is not an easy track by any means for these cars, as you clearly see, especially that the turn actually going down the pit straight. The first turn is kind of blind. There's really not much to say. Hey, you got a turn coming up, other than you see a line of cones in front of you.
Well, I can talk a little bit about the setup here too, because you have this really long, like, straightaway. I mean, it's not a straightaway, but the oval section. So we're running pretty low downforce wings compared to some of our road courses that we run. A little bit of a lock up there for Gavin Sanders.
Yeah, Gavin locking up, coming into the infield portion.
So those low downforce wings making it not easy to drive once you get over here into the infield section. I have to tell you, if I was Hill here and those lapped cars ahead, I know that he's going to run. I would pit now, exactly. But Hill is a professional, so he knows what he's doing. But yeah, I try to do an undercut, but again, maybe they feel the red tires are so bad after 5 laps that maybe that won't be worth it.
Well, you got to look in front of Gavin now. He has a whole host of people in front of him. He might just say, you know what, I want to pit too. So this might not be. We could see the leaders come in this lap just because there are just a sea of lapped vehicles in front of them right now.
Yeah, we got, I think it was Shane Coogan up there, Dakota's up there. Not sure who else, but number 14. Who's number 14? Oh, that's Dan. Dan Neese is up there. JJ, he's further up.
Wow. Okay, this is gonna get interesting.
Did they stay out? They stayed out.
Yeah, they stay out. This is gonna get really interesting.
To work on these chicanes here. Yeah, this is where...
Yeah, we got James Watson in this group, it looks like.
Yeah.
Coogan, Ryan, Jasper, DeMay.
Yeah, I don't think Dan Neese was in that group. I mistakenly identified a car. Maybe. There's so many cars up here.
Trying to find a place to go. Gavin on the outside.
Yeah.
Gonna get hairy here in a second. Watch out.
You just gotta hope that none of these drivers makes a mistake.
Wow. That is tight.
That is Christian Jasper. I read that wrong. So that is Christian Jasper and Dakota DeMay.
That is some pucker factor going on right there as those guys were hitting the tightest portion of the race course. Jasper almost in the back of Dakota.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Okay, there goes Hill. Hill's on pit road. Now Jasper ducks out of the way. Now it's probably... This is a good idea for Hill. This is a really good idea for Hill because Gavin's getting. I don't want to say Gavin's getting held up because we know Dakota has pace, but Gavin wants to be setting his fast lap or as fast lap as possible right now. Which he might. He's got the draft.
Looks like
going to stay on the apron.
Let him. So there you go, Gary. We know that these guys are in the same voice chat, and there was some team tactic there.
But we're not doing teams.
But we're not doing teams, exactly. So there we go. But I think this is going to be really interesting when Gavin pits. I think we're setting up for a real good battle here at the end. I think Hill could possibly take the lead through this cycle, but
I think it's entirely plausible right now.
But,
and we'll see. And here he comes. Gavin's coming to pit road. There was a car that was spun right in front of him there. I'm not sure who that was.
It's the car that I misidentify as Nate's car, but it's not Nate.
Yeah, I think it might be Donchek, Peter Donchek. Yeah, Peter Donchek's also in that green car.
Yep.
So Gavin in. Let's keep an eye on
Hill.
On Hill. Hill is on the backstretch, turning into the infield right now. He has on his tail Caleb, who has not stopped. Has Caleb stopped? Yes, Caleb has stopped. He just came out of the pits. He pit on the last.
He's much closer now than he was before.
Yeah, he pitted on the same lap as Hill. Hill now on pit road.
Coming out of the pits. So Gavin's going to maintain the lead here. I'm very surprised that he was able to maintain that, but these cars are already.
Wow, and he actually gets some breathing room.
Let me look at the pit timer here. They're all pretty even on their pit time, so it was really. I'm very surprised because I thought that Gavin would have been held up more, but I guess the cooperation with the lap traffic there helped him out.
Gavin on pit road 37.1 seconds, 7.3 in the box. Hill on pit road 37.4 seconds, 7.1 in the box. So overall, Hill was on pit road longer, but in the box shorter. And Gavin looks like that he might have benefited from that last lap, maybe getting the slingshot from Dakota.
Yeah, really. And I think that because Gavin has 1 lap newer tires, this could be preferred, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm getting around some lap traffic right there in the form of Lake.
Caleb and Hill battling.
Yeah, that's definitely what Caleb wants to see. He wants to see a battle for
tires, though.
For position. And of course, Caleb, and I think Gavin with his because he won last week, right? Yeah, Gavin won last week. Gavin's now up, I think, 3rd place in the points. Bency is P2 in the points, like 3 points behind the. I think he's like 3 points behind Schaeffer. Schaeffer's moved up to 4th.
Latest one, but I do have this loaded up. But Gavin made up like 22 spots.
Yeah.
Last week.
So out of this event, just this event, now we're not talking about the second oval event coming up next here at the top of the hour, but Caleb might come out of this one your current series leader.
Yeah, it could be. Nate's back there. He has had a good recovery drive through everything he's kind of been through, overshooting that corner, taking some damage. JJ Wang up to 6th position. Great run.
Good on him. Let's check him out. Just kind of running a very clean.
And he's got his teammate. He's ahead of his teammate there. I think he's just, like you said, running a really clean race. Okay, he has not hit, though, as far as I can tell. Is that correct?
I showed him 15 laps.
He took
at lap 8.
He pit really early, so
and he's 15 laps into his current stint.
Yeah.
And Johnson, for that matter, is 14 laps into his current stint. So they're basically equal. And Johnson's going to have the benefit of the draft there to slingshot around. Plus, he's going to grab onto that the draft of Libertor there right in front of him to help pull him by. Everybody lighten up, push to pass right now on the racetrack.
Ooh.
Oh, careful, JJ. Oh.
A lot going on there. I don't. Those were some.
Come on, JJ. Come on, JJ. We're all rooting for you, man. Just bring it home for this top 10. Just bring her home.
This is where you find out whether he has the broadcast on while he's driving. Because that's when he's prone to make a mistake. when you're getting rooted on and you hear that, they're like JJ or like whoever is getting followed and they hear you talking about it. I'm pretty sure I've heard. I don't remember who it was, but they were telling me that they listen to the broadcast while they're driving. I don't recommend that at all. We're about to come up to a final lap though here.
Yeah, Gavin has got himself a 3.4 second lead over Hill. Gavin's now in the infield portion, just reached that little kink in the midfield. Now he's at the far end set of turns, now making his way onto the pit straight. Hitting pit road right now, getting the white flag, moving around Christopher Kresge. And into turn 1 to start his last lap.
And they'll make it around one more time. I think that's a Sidra up there, but that won't be a factor. I think
Sidro's had a bit of a rough day. He's got some 2 extended pit stops, so he's got some breakage that happens some point in the race.
I think that Caleb had an issue because he's actually about 5 seconds back from Hill now, so not gonna
he's got 2 lap cars in front of him, and they are not making it easy on him.
No, they are not. They look like they're battling together, but I'm not 100% sure who.
Mannery and Lake.
Okay.
No, I don't think they are.
Gavin here for the moment because he's about to come across start-finish line.
Here he comes.
Takes a win here at Vegas Roval. First time probably we've ever had a winner here. Certainly here in the Schaeffer's IndyCar League. He's the winner of the Sin City first race. And we'll try to... You got to go, Gary? I know you...
Yeah, I got to go.
For another race. He's going to be running the oval race here as we come to the end. I'll do the interviews. We're going to try to get through these as quick as possible. But you have a good race, Gary, and I'll be calling it from the booth here by myself. So.
All right, man. I hope it's a good show. Thanks.
Hey, we might be bringing up Gary and other drivers during the inevitable caution laps that we may have.
Hopefully I'm not part of them.
Yeah. All right.
Talk later.
All right. Talk to you. Okay, we will quickly transition over. I'm just going to do this live. Don't usually do such a thing. Let me pull up. We've got our next race is going to be starting at 9 o'clock. We're just going to bring up drivers as first as they come in. Hey, Chris, this is Matt up in the booth. Got a copy?
I do. Hello.
Well, tell me about this race. Tell me about your thoughts on the track. These are pretty quick interviews because we got another race coming up here in a half hour. So let me know everything you got to talk about.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's definitely a challenging little track for these cars. Not necessarily ideally suited to it, but kind of fun in its own way. Obviously, best result I've had in the IndyCar period, so I'm super happy about that. And obviously had a little bobble coming out of pit lane there. I think I kind of lit up the tires in the pit lane and wasn't anticipating how little grip they had once they got a little hot there. And
okay.
That I think was the difference between at least giving it a run for the win or not. But all things considered, super happy with second place and good running with Gavin and everybody. That was a fun time. So
yeah, I kept Gary was in the booth during the race, but I kept saying I think the strategy I would take is to just pit early and not have to deal with this lap traffic, and that is what you did. But then in the end, it didn't quite work out, and I guess you just explained what happened was you lit up the tires there, and that's where you lost some time. So that's good to know because we did miss that on the broadcast. But a great run, Chris, and good luck at the oval race. Everybody's going to need it.
Yeah, no kidding. This is a whole different world for me. So yeah. If I finish somewhere in the top 10, I'll be super happy for the go left stuff. But we'll see how it goes. So
all right, sounds good. We'll maybe see you on the podium there.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, thanks.
Hey, Gavin, taking the win here. Tell me your thought. I mean, we talked a little bit earlier. Your thoughts on this track. You're going to be like the first driver, like on a legit league of any type, to actually ever win this race. Might be the only time that has ever been run, that whole thing, and you're the victor here at the parking lot in
the parking lot GP.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I just parked the best today. I had a backup camera installed, so. No, it was interesting. I think I was just putting because I didn't want to overshoot or make any mistakes, and plus the tires went off in about a lap and a half, so that was also something to manage. But yeah, no, I'm glad that I won the most random race ever, I guess.
That's right. Well, I think this is the Revolution Indy League, so we might be seeing more of these types of tracks. Last season there was something called the Roval Challenge, and we ran a bunch of stuff, but the Auto Club competition is what it's called. It was actually quite good, so yeah. I think that'll be coming up possibly next season, something like that. Kresge's got that schedule already set, but I haven't quite seen it. He told me before, but I don't really remember it, but it might be there. But great run here. Hey, shout out to your sponsors, things like that, and I'll let you get on over to the Oval.
Shout out to you and Gary. Shout out to Fat Bastard Burrito, Alpine Stars, Stilo, and everybody watching. So
sounds good. Well, good luck on the Oval.
Thanks. Hopefully we double up.
Well, you gained like 22 positions last race, so we'll see what more you can do from like 30.
Only 2 more to go.
That's right. All right, take care.
See ya.
All right, final quick interview here. Caleb Bensi started 5th, finished 3rd. Tell me your thoughts on the track, and we'll get you on over to the Oval race coming up.
It's oddly fun. Yeah, it was just such an awkward track in general, but it was a fun challenge. But yeah, I was really losing a lot of time in the last 2 corners, and had a shot there to get Hill for second, and just was trying to push too hard into there, try to find something or make up some time, and just didn't make it stick. But outside of that, fun race. With how chaotic it is and how all over the place some people were, with just how tight and weird the track is, just really glad to get a podium for sure.
Yeah, of course. And the lap traffic was chaos as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey, any final shout outs, thank yous, and get on over to that Oval race and get focused on that.
Yeah, obviously, hopefully do another interview after this one, but we'll see. But yeah, thanks to you guys as always, putting on a good broadcast, and yeah, Fun and Fanny. If you haven't checked them out yet, please do. funandfanny.com. And yeah, hopefully we put on a good race in a couple minutes.
All right, sounds good, Caleb. Good luck there.
All right, thank you guys.
Yep. All right. Well, I want to give one shout out here to JJ here. This is like probably a career best IndyCar finish. He's kind of new to running these cars. He did run over in the Formula Indy Series, but awesome run getting up to a top 5 position. That's top on it. We don't have teams here, but he's got a couple of the drivers he drives with, and he's number 1 on his team today, beating out Nicholas Johnston, who is really, really experienced out here. Yeah, great race here. Really difficult to follow with all the weird camera angles and just chaos that ensued. But let's go through the final results, and then at 9 o'clock Eastern time, so in about 23 minutes, we're going to be switching over and running the oval race. We'll keep the broadcast right here, though, for everybody. Final results: Gavin Sanders P1, Chris Hill P2, Caleb Bensi P3, Nate Stiefer P4, JJ Wang P5, Nicholas Johnston, Sean Ryan, Johan Shirazi, Lucas Santos, Dakota DeMade, Michael Holler, Christian Jasper, Matthew Short, Logan Spath, Dan Neese. I think Logan actually had an off on that first lap, but he was able to recover from that. Ian Lake, James Watson, Shane Coogan, Pete Donchak, Chris Kresge, Nick Minori, Hayden Herman, Jonathan Libertor, Cody Claiborne. I think Cody had a tough race there. Nicholas Isidro, Josh Tucker, Michael Heinekamp, Alex Teeter, Drew White, Rhett Nichols. So we'll be out of here, and we'll be back in about what did I say, 22 minutes.
Ever since I've switched to Schaeffer's oil, I've never had a reason to even try anything else. And that's one thing that I'm proud about, is the fact that I can't tell you how good something else is, because I know how good Schaeffer's oil is. My engine builders, Tony and Glenn Clements, have said about the oil we run. They've told us that out of all the motors that they get and rebuild every year, ours looks the best, and a lot of that has to do with the oil that we run. One of the things that I love about Schaeffer's oil is the fact that all of their reps are out in the field and at the racetracks with us, seeing what all the racers need, seeing what ideas we have or anything that we can improve on. And you just can't beat the customer service of having a rep for, you know, one of the main components of our race team, whether it's at our engine oil, transmission fluid, rear end oil, having somebody there that represents that brand and also gives us support and also the knowledge that we need to be making the right calls and just helping us out with our entire racing program. It means a lot to our race team to have that. My name's Chris Ferguson, and I drive the number 22 dirt late model. I've been using Schaeffer's oil racing products since 2009. I absolutely have no doubt that we're using the best products that is possible for dirt late model racing.
There's two types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment, and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon, and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer, and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
For generations, fans of IndyCar could only dream of stepping into the cockpit and feeling the rush of going wheel to wheel at over 200 miles per hour. Thanks to the latest in sim racing technology, we can get one step closer. Talented, fearless drivers battle it out in virtual race cars to claim supremacy at some of the world's most demanding tracks. This is the RIL, Schaeffer's IndyCar Series, presented by RaceVerse.
Well, hello and welcome to race number 2. This is RaceVerse coverage of the Revolution Indy League Schaeffer's IndyCar Series from Las Vegas. This time on the oval, not the Roval. We just did the Roval, and we are in qualifying. Dakota DeMade, currently provisional pole sitter. We're going to have one car bumped tonight. I think it is going to be JJ Wang, who just had a great Roval run, but it looks like he's going to be our bump target here. 37th qualifier. Unfortunate for him, but we're going to be going through the field here. We've got Neil Lusher just put in a 4th fastest lap, so really good run there for Neil. Neil did not. We've got way more cars running this race, the oval, than we had earlier on the Roval. But yeah, I'm going to be running this one with more cars in the field. I'm running it by myself because we've got... Where's Gary in here? Where did he qualify? We're going to run through the grid here. Gary is in 15th, so Gary, our commentator, now driver here, making his, I believe this is his debut, at least in the IndyCar series. He's running the Turbo series previously, so we're gonna have a long grid, so I'm gonna go ahead and get it started here. Dakota DeMade taking the pole, followed by AJ Musselman, Caleb Bency, Neil Lusher, Gavin Sanders, our winner from the previous race, Christopher Kresge, P6. John Cosgrove, Dan Neese. Oh yes, we have a slight warm-up here, so I've got a little bit more time. Joe McIndory making his initial race. I believe he was bumped in the first race of the season. He's back here to make the field here tonight. Drew White, P10. Drew Akers, P11. Sean Ryan, P12. Flynn Lazier making an appearance here in P13. Christian Alacio, P14. Christian was also bumped at the opening round at Michigan. Gary Gotso, race first commentary crew there, starting 15th. Nicholas Isidro, P16. Shane Coogan, P17. Nate Seifker, P18. Chris Hill, P19. Hayden Herman, Nicholas Johnson, Ian Lake, James Watson, Pete Donchek, Josh Tucker, Michael Holler, Lucas Santos, Alex Peter, Johan Shirazi, P29, Logan Spath, P30. Rounding out our field is going to be Christian Jasper, P31, Jonathan Libertor, Angela Espo, Nick Minori, Matthew Short, and Michael Hanekamp making the field here. Michael makes our entry list. You can see the link below in the description if you're looking for the entry, or it's not the entry, the the spotter guide. That's what the word I'm looking for. And let's just get a good look here of Gary Gotso's Schaeffer's oil car. It is kind of a throwback to Yellow Submarine car that was a Johnny Rutherford put a run. Late 70s, early 80s, that car, and obviously Elio Castroneves has run it more recently when he was at Penske. Still no longer the case, but that is what we've got tonight. Dakota DeMade. So Dakota running a different livery. He's run the Voltic pistol car earlier. He has switched on over to the Echo Blade black car there. Looks like AJ's got an update to his livery as well. He's setting up for 100 laps here. 150 miles, a little bit shorter, both of these races tonight since we're doing doubleheader, but we are full points here. Thanks everybody for tuning in to and coming back for our 9 o'clock race here. Running it solo on the broadcast here. Shout out to Mike Bensey watching. I heard Mike's watching out there, and the Bensey family, of course, always tuning into the Race First broadcast. And of course, anybody else, a little bit easier to follow the action here on the oval. Let me know who you're rooting for out there. We've had some people mentioning JJ as well as Matthew Short. Anybody else, we can probably take some time to have a look at them. Looks like Cody Claiborne, they're not starting this race. Green flag. And this is obviously the infamous place. We discussed it in the last race with Gary. Site of the big crash with Dan Weldon, unfortunately, took his life. Not a lot of drivers fans of running here at this track, but big time pack racing. Might have some big time crashes at this particular track. Of course, all virtual here, so it's A-OK. And we have our caution is out on the track. We've got Libertor, Christian Jasper, unfortunate. Josh Tucker. Matthew Short is damaged. That might be repairable, though. As long as all 4 tires are attached, it's generally repairable. So let's get a look at what happened here. A lot of cars on the track, 36. So we're gonna figure out what happened here. Oh, we had Tucker running the apron. That's not gonna work. Let's see what. Dipped the tire low onto the apron coming into the corner here. And it just dragged him, and the oversteer commenced. Nicholas Isidro getting involved in that as well. Christian Jasper, really unfortunate. Into these drivers' days. Well, that's what we kind of expected here. At some point, we're going to get some driver interviews going on. If we have too much caution, I'm going to let everybody have another moment here with our first caution. Let me give a shout out to our sponsor, Schaeffer's Oil.
There's two types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
All right, lights around the pace car. We are green flag once again. Take a moment before this kind of becomes the pack racing once again on board with Nate Schaeffer. So this will kind of start to gap together. We got 3 wide up there for a moment. Everybody making it cleanly through the first lap back to green. Dakota DeMade, our leader at the moment. AJ Muscleman in P3. He did not show for the Roval race earlier. He loves these pack races. Probably our highest I-rated, Roval I-rated driver out here. Double check this. Dakota's really high. This is the Oval I-rating is a kind of a stat that you get for running a bunch of Oval stuff here on the service. Yeah, so AJ is the top. Dakota looks like the second. And who is this? Who is Nick Johnston? No? Yeah, Nick Johnston. Third on there. The leader of these races can kind of just hug that white line. Oh, we've got another caution. Let me see what we've got here. Because I'm trying to get my stats. Okay, we've got Drew Akers involved. We'll head back and see what we can figure out happened there. Oh, wow. He had a slow moment, got up into the wall. This is a very odd one. Oh, he got pushed up by the 909 car. I'm not sure who is that. And and an Infinity car runs into the back of him. Who was the 909? Sean Ryan. Sean Ryan also coming across the track. Shane Coogan just barely missing him. All right. Well, that's a bunch of caution. I'm going to bring up one of our driver analysts, I guess you could call him. And I'll go ahead and bring in our current driver champion, #1 car. Hey, Dakota. I hear you laughing.
Is it just me?
It is just you at the moment. You are leading this one. So far, so good. Plenty of caution here so far tonight. What are your thoughts so far? 10 laps into the race, most of which.
I've heard there's a lot of chaos behind me, so I just got to hold the white line and make sure. Good old Caleb here doesn't try anything risky. Nah, he's good. He's good. Yeah. So it's pretty fun so far.
Yeah, it's got to be really fun up at the front. I don't think it's so fun from back. Yeah, that last incident was pretty interesting. It was kind of a midfield kind of thing too, but Gary's moved up to 10th. He started 15th, so a really good ride.
Yeah, I heard Gary tried to pass some cars under yellow.
Flynn Lazier up to 6th, so you got to watch him from behind. A son of the Indianapolis 500 champion Buddy Lazier. But I'll let you head on back. Lights are still on the pace car, but I'll let you refocus and I'll pull somebody up next time we have a caution, which I'm sure is inevitable.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yep. Thank you.
All right. That's actually not something we usually do here on the broadcast, but I told the guys, hey, I'd bring them up during the broadcast because there was going to be inevitable cautions in this one. Kind of the nature of the beast at this track. Dan Neese up to the 3rd position from 8th, so he's a big mover so far. John Cosgrove making a start here. Did not make the Roval start. Johnston, I don't know if Johnston was involved with that incident. It was an Infinity car, so I think it was. Yeah, it had to have been him because he's the only Infinity car still running. Christian Jasper saying it has been a frustrating night tonight in both of his races. Unfortunate there for Christian. Hayden Herman up 5 positions in 15th from 20th. So Nicholas Isidro running a Dan Weldon throwback livery. This is, as we discussed previously in the broadcast, not the one that Dan Weldon drove in the infamous race here at Vegas that he lost his life, but more like a tribute livery to his Indianapolis 500 winning car. Neil Lesher kind of going backwards through this race. He started 4th, currently 20th, and I'm pretty sure Neil's one of these drivers that listens to the broadcast while he's driving, so don't get too nervous out there, Neil. We'll see. Lights are on the pace car. Are we going here? I think we're going to be one more lap. Yeah, lights out on the pace car. We'll go green next time by. So only 13 laps of this 100-lap feature race done so far. Where is, let's see if I can find Chris Hill up to 13th position. Hill's not a guy that's going to say, hey, I'm an oval expert, turning left. He's pretty new to this, so not a bad run for him. This is like total pack racing. He's a BMW Performance Pro driver, works over at the school there, also does some coaching for precision racing instruction. But yeah, not usually an oval guy here. Learning the ropes here, learning the tools, the anti-roll bars and the weight jacker inside that car that these experienced drivers kind of know what to do with those as we're about to head back to green flag. Neil Lesher saying he's working the fuel strategy, and that's why he's back a few positions. As I said, he's watching the race, or listening to the race, probably using his phone to talk to us. Big gap there. First two spots. Dan Neese. I wonder if Dan was restarting that in fuel mode 8. That is kind of a caution fuel mode on the restart here, but so far so good. Gaggle of cars back here battling for 3rd through 6th position. Yeah, the more cautions we have, the more green flag running. Ooh, Drew White nearly getting into Gary. Gary's moving up through the field here, up to 7th. If we get another caution, let's hope not. We're going to bring up Gary. Of course, he said he hoped he wasn't going to be involved in it, so let's also hope that. Commentator's purse right there. Oh boy. Don't want to be responsible for that one. Let's go on board with Gary. Schaeffer's oil car here. You can see that gap that Caleb and Dakota had up there has gone away. Nate Schaeffer on the high side going around Gary. Is he going to try to make it 3 wide? We have made it past the infamous lap 11. It's caution lap. So Nate Schaeffer, our winner, woo, Gary, almost brushing the wall up there on the high side, but Nate Schaeffer, he won at our Michigan Oval race, first race of the season. He said these races are very calm for him, so that's not exactly the thought that I would have about them. Drew White, so Gary just went from 7th to 10th with Drew White and a couple other cars getting by. Almost 3 wide up there, not quite. 2 by 2 is certainly doable, not 3 wide though. A lot of preparation. This is a 1.5 mile, see, almost 3 wide there, but not quite. I don't know what I just said, but 1.5 miler here, so not as big of a track, not as wide of a track as say Michigan, where you can definitely go 3 wide there. That is 20 laps, 1/5 of the race gone here. Got some good green flag running. Glenn Lazier looking to make it. He's in the top 5 now, going around the high side. Previous race winner Gavin Sanders. Nate Schaeffer thinking about making it 3 wide on the outside. Not going to happen. Dan Neese there in 3rd. Pressure from Flynn Lazier. Different livery for Gavin in this race with that white livery. I think I can get a closer look at that. It is the Fat Bastard livery, but the white livery as opposed to the black livery we ran in the day race earlier. I'm going to go on board to show us some of this chaos. Once again, let's try something else though, like this. From Drew White. Drew White running a Rainbow Warrior there. Livery. A little bit different than his usual one though, but it still is a DuPont livery. It's definitely 3 wide there for about the 56th position. At the line, we will be 25 laps complete a quarter of the way through this race. We might be looking at a one-stop race here, a little bit different than our usual longer races. We did run 100 laps at Michigan, however, that was a miles that might. Depends on the caution counts that we do. Let's head back in the field a little bit and see what's going on further on back. I am seeing about 5 cars out from about 32nd position there. A couple cars a lap down. Schaeffer dropping back a few spots there. He was up in the top 10 earlier. He's back to 13th now. Oh, and there we go. We got another caution. Linzier making up in the third. Let me see what happened with this caution. Low cars. Might have been Sean Ryan. Let's see if we can figure out what happened. Looks like it was. So there's dudes involved with it. We know what happened way ahead of... Oh, boy. That is not what you want with Isidro there. This happened plenty ahead of him, though. Who was that? That is... let's figure out. That is... If I can find his name on here. Johnston, he's out of the race, so... Who was that? This was near the front of the field. Almost 4 wide. Might be Muscleman involved too. Dan Neese and some net code from Dan Neese into Johnston AJ. And we'll see Sean Ryan trying to get by there, but really nothing they could do from Isidro there getting through there. Tough break for Sean Ryan, though. That is really unfortunate for him. Well, let's get back to live pictures. I'm going to bring up Gary here. Hey, Gary, this is Matt up in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah.
Well, you moved up, well, now through some pit strategy here, but you had moved up from 15th to 8th. Now it looks like you're going to be, what, in 4th? Don't tell me about your race so far.
Man, I tell you what, I got a good jump on the restart, got around the slower traffic, but man, once you got to the front, it just stopped, and then the rest of the pack just kind of caught up there, buddy, and then that wreck happened, and I'm surprised I don't have damage. I mean, I ended up in Christopher Hill's engine cowling and did not register any damage or anything. It flashed on my screen that I got 0 X's, but man, I have no idea how I don't have damage. So it's still a bit early. I'm expecting another wreck, so I'm going to stay out and see if we can't go for some track position here. But I do feel good. But man, it is white knuckle, and some of these folks just need to kind of chill out and relax. We're only 30% through this thing.
Yeah, I got a good look at your front wing. Your front wing looks good, so good luck with the rest of the race, Gary.
All right, thanks a lot.
Yep. All right, expert analysis from our in-car reporter there, up to the 4th position, Gary Godso. So a few cars from about the 9th position, so a few cars pit during this cycle, and the top 9 cars have not pit. So some strategy coming out here. Now have about 10 cars who started this race are now out of this race. Angelo Espo 3 laps down. Drew Akers is 4 laps down, but he's still rolling. So if these drivers up at the front can make it to lap 50, they will be, about one stopping this thing. But I think the more cars that we remove from the race through these incidents, the less cautions we're going to have. So less treacherous it's going to be. Caleb Ency, our current leader. Light's still on the pace car, so we've got some time. I'm going to run one of our commercials for our title sponsor of the series here.
There's two types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
All right, lights out on the pace car. We'll be going green flag next time. Bye. Caleb Benzie in the race first car in P1. Gavin Sanders, our winner from the last race, in P2. Chris Hill P3, Gary Gatso P4. Christian Alacio making his legit first start of the season because he was bumped out of the first race in 5th. Christopher Kresge in 6th position. Hayden Herman running that Fawn and Fanny car in P7. Shane Coogan, Western Waves Media, also a Chip Ganassi, I believe Jimmy Vassar, about 1995 throwback car here. It was an early Chip Ganassi Target car. Lights out on the pace car, about to go back to green flag. Anybody out there watching can let us know what drivers they might be supporting. And green flag. Gary Gatso had a really good start there on Chris Hill, making it into the 3rd position. And we got another caution out here. See if we can figure out what happened there. Michael Heinekamp, Heinekamp Financial car looks to be damaged. Let's see what happened, Michael. These restarts can be tricky. I haven't seen Michael's car before. That's a really nice looking car. I bet that is... Whoa! Oh, no fault of Michael's there. Oh, man. There was just a snafu on that restart. And I don't know whose fault that was. Somebody really slow. Isidro getting into the back of Michael. But yeah, let me go like on board here. What was this? Because there were certainly cars that were going really slow here. Somebody stuck into the pits there. Somebody just did not go here. Who is that? Oh, yep. Michael got dumped here. Who is that, though? I'm gonna figure out who that was here. It is... Whoever that car is the 32... If I'm reading that correctly. Sometimes the numbers can be wrong. Where is this car? Sidro, or sorry, Haller involved with that. Minori. I don't know what he was doing. He might have given somebody a penalty there. The Red Bull car passing him before start finish line. He just did not go on that start, and other cars had to really avoid that one, including Angelo Espo. Okay, let's get back to live pictures. Caleb Benzie still hanging out here. Let's see if he ducks into the pits. I don't want to pull up anybody if they are pitting. Don't think they are going to pit. I'm going to interview Gavin here. Hey, Hey, Gavin, this is Matt in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, you're our winner from the last race. What kind of help was that race compared to this one?
Honestly, it's comparable. I think I almost got swarmed in the first stint there, and then decided that should probably get out of it, and then the wreck happened right where I was. So far so good.
Hey, that's a good looking paint you've got on the switch around from the first race to this one.
Yeah, big shout out to Dakota. He knocked it out of the park. I love the it's full Canadian. That's what I like.
I didn't realize that till now, but yeah, very cool livery. Hey, one of your sometimes bosses right behind you now. And Gary Gazzo, he's been having a heck of a race too.
Yeah, he's been killing it. He went straight through the bee's nest, and after everybody kind of cycled out here, I think we're gonna try and break off and just protect our cars.
Yeah, well, good luck with that. Gonna be hard. I saw one of the restarts. I think it was Dakota and Caleb had like a really big gap, but then it quickly faded in like 2 laps.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Well, good luck the rest of the race. Hey, how many laps are we running on fuel here?
Well, right now we're gonna get a heck of a lot more. But I think they were saying approximately 50.
Okay, so we're one stopping it then.
Yeah. That's why I think that's why Dakota opted early. So
interesting. So well, good luck and be safe until the end of the race.
I'll try my best.
Yep. All right. Well, our winner from the last 2 races, in fact, there, Gavin Sanders, the fat bastard burrito car. Nice looking livery from Sunset Arctic Graphics. That's Dakota DeMade's company there, Dakota. Our champion running the EcoBlade car. He's got a graphics company that makes liveries for these cars as well as other kind of graphics, that kind of thing. And he also makes games. EcoBlade, one of them, Voltic Pistol, the other, available on Steam. Lights out on the pace car, so we're going to be going back to green here. So we've got 24 cars on the lead lap. Joe McAdory, last car on the lead lap. Hope you guys are enjoying the caution flag interviews here tonight. And Caleb will probably be the next one. Coming up to the green flag, we'll see Gary. He had some great restarts. What can he do? Kind of get these big gaps at the start of these runs, but then it quickly closes in, gets tight. So Dakota, who has pit, top of the cars that have pit, trying to make it work outside on Hayden Herman there. Now takes over the 7th position, does Dakota. Shane Coogan in the 8th position. Flynn Lazier running low line. Danny's right behind him. Let's go on board with somebody here. Not the exact thing that I wanted, but that'll work. From the gearbox of Chris Hill, looking back at Christopher Kresge. Kresge thinking about going around on the inside, not going to happen. White knuckle driving out here by these guys. Hill leaves the door open a bit there for Kresge. Christian Alacio getting around Chris Hill. Oh boy, something's developing here. 3 wide between Kresge, Shane Coogan, and Dakota DeMade. Chris Hill ahead of them. Shane Coogan looking like he's opting to kind of just be conservative back here. Maybe waiting for a crash or something like that to happen here inevitably. The Dakota makes it around and gets through. He was 7th. He makes it past Hill into 5th. Sets his sights on Krishna Ratio. He's got Dan Neese inside of him though. Dakota just dicing through these cars on new tires. 3 wide between Dan Neese, Dakota, and Elatio. A little bit, almost a wheel bang there between Dakota and Elatio. Dakota secures that 4th spot. Now looking outside on Gary Gatso. Dan Neese is going to take over that 4th spot there from Dakota, as is Flynn Lazier. They'll follow Dan Neese through. And Dan gets into ahead into the 3rd position ahead of Gary there. He's going to set his sights on getting around Gavin now that we just interviewed. Got some solid green flag running at this point. Side by side between Gadso and Flynn Lazier. We certainly have split up into 2 packs here, like the lead pack, and then about a 3 seconds back to Johan Shirazi, and they're 3 wide back here for the 14th spot. And Gary's dropped back to about 6. He is on older tires. They're going to be coming up on a pit stop here soon. They're hoping it's not a green flag stop though. Go on board for some of the change of camera angle here. On board with Blue White. That white line, which is difficult when you're one of these drivers that is following. Nate Seifker making it work on the high side for the 6th position over Gary in the yellow car. Coming up to halfway through the race. 50 laps at the line up ahead. Flynn Lazier and Dan Neese and Dakota swapping positions up here. Flynn Lazier taking over that 3rd position. But these are just swapping back and forth, it seems. These top 2 drivers cooperating with one another, it seems like they just want to hold on to the bottom of the track and nobody can get by them. But they also probably are going to have to pit here soon, these top 2 cars, particularly the number 21 at David Benson. And Flynn Lazier trying to get in the second spot. He had the 2nd position at the line, but Gavin Sanders takes it back over. 3 wide back there for 5th position. For a moment, anyway. Chris Hill through this sequence is kind of opting to maybe hang back a little bit, maybe save some fuel, wait for a caution to come out, because he's went from about the top 5 position to 13th. He started 19th though, so either way, a net gain for him. Gotta be a pit stop to come after for these drivers. Although we had all that caution, they might be able to make it 60 laps. They've done 55. That was 55 at the line, as Gavin said in the interview. Again, we had this big gap back to 14th position. I might need to restart it. It's giving me some issues. One moment while I reboot this. Oh, we've got a car that was... who that exactly was, but a car lost it on the apron there. We'll get back here while we reload everything. I'll reload the one that doesn't have any cycling of the top cars here. Okay, so we're back. 58 laps complete so far. Caleb Bensey's still on track. I'm not sure who it was. There was a yellow car that lost it on the apron there, but when you do that on the apron, no caution unless you come up onto the track. Ooh. Okay, Gavin Sanders into the pit lane. Oh, not into the pit lane. He's up to the 3rd. Flynn Lazier moving into 2nd position. Nate Schaeffer in P4. Pit stop's gotta be coming up for these leaders momentarily. Although our data, because I had to restart the overlay, is going to be wrong for me right now. Just hold that white line at the front. Gary has cycled back to 11th, maybe just conserving a bit of fuel like Chris Hill back here was doing as well. Caleb Bensey into the pit lane, if we can get that switched over, slowed down to about 50 miles an hour. Gavin Sanders got to be in the next car that's going to be opting to do this. Legitimately, multiple strategies about to unfold here. We'll see what Gavin decides to do. If he can make it another lap or 2 or opposite him down. Looks like he's going to stay out. Lazier ducking into the pit lane this time. Ooh, really close between Hayden Herman and Dan Neese. There might have been contact and damage. I thought I saw a part coming off a car there. If Gavin stays out, that puts Nate Schaeffer and Dakota Demade P2, P3. Gavin hits the pit lane. Gotta get slowed down. Shane Coogan right behind him. So they're gonna be only 35 laps to go. I'm not sure if we stay green whether these cars at the front can make it. no more stops, or they might need to stop again. But they'll be in a really good position if the caution comes out. The one thing we want to see is where Caleb Bensie comes out in relation to Gavin Sanders because of those pit sequences. Bensie back there, Sanders, there's Phil. Ooh, a really close racing between, yeah, so Sanders and Bensie and Dan Neese all together here, just like they were previously before the cycle of pit stops. But Dan Neese net leads from this strategy. In fact, who actually leads from that strategy would be Flynn Lazier. Kresge comes down the pit lane as well. Dakota DeMade leads, Nate Siefker in P2, Drew White P3. And Lake moving into P4. We'll just do it through the field here. Nicholas Isidro, that Dan Weldon pro back in P5, battling for P5 with Johan Shirazi. James Watson P7. I see Michael Holland behind him, but that is not him. Joe McAdory there, P8. John Cosgrove, P9. Pete Dunchik, P10. Neil Lusher, P11. Flynn Lazier, another gaggle of cars here. These all four positioned 3 wide here between Bensie, Dan Neese. Chris Hill was thinking about it on the outside there. So a couple of distinct strategies working out here. I'm not sure which one's the best one, honestly, I will say. We'll find out in about 28 laps at the line there. 72 of 100 complete. Coming up on 3/4 of the way through here. Hope you guys have enjoyed listening to my voice here tonight, because I'm solo running this one because we have Gary Gotso, who is my broadcast colleague, actually in the race. Oh, we had a car. We have a caution into the wall here. More parts coming off as we were looking at Gary, but it was not Gary there. The recipe's okay. It looks like, okay, it's not a Latio. Ian Lake is a damaged car. Let's get a replay, see if we can figure out. I think there's multiple things that happened here. Lake loses it on the apron bad, and collects another car. I'm not sure who that was. This is why you do not touch the apron in an IndyCar. The NASCAR can run down there all they want. Let NASCAR have that apron. IndyCar, not good on the apron. Our one bumped car, I got confirmation that they were on the apron and messed up their lap. Looks like, I believe that is Isidro that took damage there. See if I can get a confirmation of that. Where is he? Where is Isidro? Maybe not. Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't Isidro. It was another car that had a similar looking livery. Alright, well, Neil Lusher is our current leader. Let's let's see what is going on here. We're gonna bring up Caleb here, but I want to make sure Caleb's like done with his pit stop. Are they gonna get a wave around? I don't think they are. I think that, in fact, Neil might be holding back Caleb. So I'm gonna bring up Caleb. Hopefully he is not too angry. Hey Caleb, this is Matt in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
I don't know if you're that happy right now because you might be being caught a lap down.
Yep.
Let's keep it clean for the broadcast, but I think Neil has stayed out and is keeping a bunch of cars behind him. So, interesting strategy by Neil.
I don't really know what his plan is, other than screw us over. But yeah, I was expecting more cautions there, because if a caution would have come out earlier, then obviously would have been set based on how the start went. It looked like how it was going to go, but yeah, I don't really know how this is going to shake out.
Yeah, more cautions you have, the less cars we have, and then kind of ends up being less cautions. But we've got 24 laps, to go, and I bet we're not done with cautions here. People are going to get greedy here at the end. And,
oh yeah, yep. So
you might be in the we do lucky dog here, right? So you might be in that kind of position for that. So even if you do get knocked a lap down here, so
yeah. Unfortunately, Flynn Lazier got it. So.
Yeah, on this one he did, but we'll see on the next one what happens. So, well, good luck to the end of the race, and we'll maybe see you up here again.
I hope so.
Yeah.
See ya.
Gonna be a tough one there for Caleb to get back up front with our leader of our race pinning these cars behind him. Completely legit strategy there by Neil. Not gonna discount that strategy by Neil. Neil knows what he's doing. Neil himself has about a 3K oval I rating. That's all from the IndyCar here on the ovals. Okay, no, he fakes the fake and does not pit. Cars ahead of him will get the wave around. And he's going to have a pretty big gap to the cars that are in second position that have lapped cars ahead of them. I do think Neil is going to need some caution to get this to the end, though. We're going to head back to green flag with about 22 laps to go. Because I had to reload the overlay, I don't know exactly how many laps he's done, but he might be close. Started fourth, did Neil. And I believe we have had Neil on the podium before on the broadcast because he told us about what his livery was, and it is the Super Dave car Neil's running. But yeah, Neil also runs, he listens to the broadcast while he's driving, so don't get nervous, Neil. You can do it. Keep in mind the broadcasts are about 30 seconds delayed from live. From what I'm seeing. Okay, pace cars ducking in. We're green flag. Neil Lusher. Three wide. Dakota makes the inside move to get around Nate Schaeffer. That is actually for the second position, even though I'm going to go on board and show you. This is second position. Neil's up there at the front. And we have Caleb Bensey going for the lead of the pack anyway, getting his lap back if we have a caution. Gavin Sanders also trying to get that lap back as well. Neil here, our leader, saving some fuel. Healthy gap of this lead. Chris Hill behind him, that is again, it's a lap car that they're all trying to get issues back. Gary Godso as well. Yeah, Chris Hill went back 2 laps. I don't know exactly what happened to him, but a tough break for Chris Hill. Kind of makes me suspect that there was a pit lane issue. E2 car trying to get around some lap traffic there. That is Dakota for the lead over Neil. That was, yeah, Neil in the lead there. Was in the lead. Dakota taking the lead. Setting his sights ahead. We're going to have 18 laps to go at the line. Drew White moving into the 3rd position. Let's see for P2. So all these cars, not for position here, makes it all a little bit confusing here for the broadcast, but it's Dakota DeMade there in that car with a white banner across it. And he's actually leader, and those cars ahead of him all lapped down or fighting to get their lap back. Nate Schaeffer taking the lead on the outside there. Not any place to go for Nate, though. For those, that green car at the top, other car on the lead lap, getting around Dakota on the inside line. Making it work on the outside is... Oh, we got Hayden Herman in the wall. I think that was... Maybe I'm not 100% sure if that was an accurate assessment. Oh, that's good. No caution. That might not have actually... What happened? Okay. Where is our caution? It was Drew White and... what the heck? This was a crazy iRacing thing, that... No caution on that. It's Drew White, not Hayden Herman. Drew White and a Sidro, maybe? I feel like I've said a Sidro's name a lot. Ooh, yeah, that was something. There might have been a little bit of net code. But let's go back to live pictures, because we didn't, for whatever reason, we did not get a caution. Oh, there we go, now we got a caution. Not sure what the delay was. There had to have been another incident there. Things are going to get a little bit crazy, though, because, like, Caleb has got his lap back. He'll be in the top 10. Christian Alacio involved with that incident. Let's get a replay. Ooh, Hayden getting into Christian Alacio. That's going to be game over for Hayden, but let's see what happened exactly there. Yeah, that looked like actually Alacio moving. Moving down the track a bit, and it was just not enough space to clear up. And thank God for the halo. Alacio's gonna make it through that one. So we're gonna have about a 10 lap run to the end here. Coming up on the hour here. Our cars that have just got their lap back are opting to pit. They're gonna get on this restart, any lap traffic will get a wave around, and or they'll get waved to the back of the field as well. Because it's less than gonna restart with less than 10 laps to go. Midwest Kidney Warriors on the car, Nate Schaeffer. We've discussed that with him through this season. title sponsor of the Formula Indy series that we run and broadcast here on Race First Channel. Somebody here burning some fuel, make their car a little bit lighter. Pete Donchak up to P6. Great run by Pete. Joe McAdory, P10. Good run by him too, just surviving out here. Dan Neese kind of, again, with some of these drivers that strategy not quite working out for them, what they opted to use. Kresge in the pit lane. I wonder if that's an extended stop or what. No, it looks like a normal stop. I unfortunately see Neil Lusher having some damage there. I did not see where that actually came from, though. Let me see if I can figure it out. Already on pit lane was Neil. Yeah, too far back. We don't want to miss a restart here, so. Lights still on in the pace car. We will do a final, maybe, anyway. Shout out to our sponsor.
Ever since I've switched to Schaeffer's oil, I've never had a reason to even try anything else. And that's one thing that I'm proud about, is the fact that I can't tell you how good something else is, because I know how good Schaeffer's oil is. My engine builders, Tony and Glenn Clements, have said about the oil we run. They've told us that out of all the motors that they get and rebuild every year, ours looks the best, and a lot of that has to do with the oil that we run. One of the things that I love about Schaeffer's oil is the fact that all of their reps are out in the field and at the racetracks with us, seeing what all the racers need, seeing what ideas we have or anything that we can improve on. And you just can't beat the customer service of having a rep for, you know, one of the main components of our race team, whether it's at our engine oil, transmission fluid, rear end oil, having somebody there that represents that brand and also gives us support and also the knowledge that we need to be making the right calls and just helping us out with our entire racing program. It means a lot to our race team to have that. My name's Chris Ferguson, and I drive the number 22 dirt late model. I've been using Schaeffer's oil racing products since 2009. I absolutely have no doubt that we're using the best products that is possible for dirt late model racing.
All right, we're right at going green here. 9 laps to go. Nate, see if you're gonna bring us back to the green flag.
Green flag, green flag.
It's a big gap. Dakota DeMade in P2, Johan Shirazi P3, James Watson. Big gaps, but these will, as we've been seeing all these restarts so far, they will start coming down. Caleb Bensey gonna try to make some ground up on this restart. Side by side between Nate and Dakota. Pretty much all Nate has to do is hold that white line, though. Fancy I saw going around Donchak there for the 6th position. Ben Lazier looking on the outside of Shirazi. Almost make it 3 wide for the lead there. Ooh, a little bit really close there between Dakota and Schaeffer. And Lazier drops back slightly. Benson's making it into the top 5. Sanders P6. Watson back there P7. They're trying to get a mix-up into this 3 wide for a moment. 2 by 2 3 wide, or 3 by 3. Up there for Shirazi as he hits the apron just slightly there, but keeps it under control. Flynn Lazier looking inside of DeMade. A little bit of wheel banging. Oh, and there it is. That takes out Dakota DeMay. That was a really late caution. There was no caution there for a moment there, even though we had stopped cars on the track. Gonna take out Dakota DeMay, our champion, and Gavin Sanders, our winner from the last race. But Caleb Bensi into P2. Contact with Flynn Lazier. He's got damage on his front wing. He's gonna have to pit for that. I don't know if he's gonna know that he has that though. Let's get a replay here. This is just some really close running here. We felt it brewing. Something was going to happen. Got to get a slow-mo on this. We went 3 wide. Gavin Sanders on the outside. Let's see here. Just a little bit of a high line there for Lazier, it appeared. Let's see here. Maybe a better camera angle that I can find here. Probably not, though. Yeah, I couldn't even see what happened there. Point of contact, so let's have a look at that. You can see this is like when we're talking about net code here. Got to account for that though, and he was not on the bottom of the track at this point. So like right here, that is where the contact is made. There is a pretty large gap right there. You can see it. So Dakota probably not happy about this, either is Sanders. Okay, actually no damage on Flynn's Zero. It was the paint that he's running that kind of gives you that impression. Shane Coogan making it up to 4th position from P17. Shirazi with a heck of a run. I didn't realize he was up from P29. I think we're going to have a 1-lap shootout here at the end, which, as we've seen with the restarts, probably doesn't mean much. We're going to spread out, and it's going to put Schaeffer pretty much in the victory circle. Of course, we don't want to discount anything. I'm not sure where. Okay, Gary got his lucky dog, so he's back on the lead lap, but he had lost the lap. Wasn't 100% sure where that happened, but yeah, he's running that Schaeffer's oil car here. Dakota's still on track. He's actually held his lead lap here. So he's actually going to come home not with worse position. You can see that that car is wicked right now. He's just going to get it to the end here. This is important for the championship. Championship drive for Dakota DeMade. Could almost bring him up. I would probably crash if I brought him up to interview him. He's probably, let's, don't usually do this, but look at that wheel action from Dakota here. 90 degrees to the right. That's how you do it. Hanging it out. Okay, we aren't going to get a green flag here. We are done. So it's Nate Schaeffer going to take the win here. Final lap, Caleb Bensi going to be P2. Lynn Lazier going to be P3. I honestly, when I brought up Caleb, it was a bit of a stretch for him to get back up to the podium. But it happened. So that's why Dakota driving around with this car. Gonna come home in 12th. Not bad for getting dunked there at the end. Schaeffer is going to come across the line. Will be the victor, as we've discussed. Bensi P2, Lynn Lazier P3, Shane Coogan P4, Drazi, Dan Neese, James Watson, Pete Donchak, awesome run there, Pete, P8, also to John Cosgrove here, and Joe McAdory getting a top 10. Chris Kresge P11, Dakota DeMade gonna make it to the end here. I know Gary didn't want to take any of that damage there from Dakota. Well, we will be back for interviews in a moment. See if we get some drivers up here. Nate's running his victory lap. Across the line and takes the win here under caution. No green white checker here in the IndyCar, but that's the way they said it was 100 laps, and so it was. Not like some of the other series that make it 105 laps or whatever it might have been. We'll be back with the interviews. Sure. All right, we're gonna get Nate here first. Hey Nate, this is Matt up in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
Well, bit of a anticlimactic end to that race, but either way, that's how we run them here. No green white checkers in IndyCar. None of that blasphemy. But yeah, tell me about your race. Tell me about holding that white line once you got into the lead.
Yeah, I qualified 18th.
Yeah, really?
I obviously do well qualifying at the rear. Qualified 20th Michigan, qualified 18th here. So just surviving this first bit, and then the first run to the front, figured out how to really work it. The top lane was really good in the pack. Once you got to the front, it was what it was. It was just dead up there. So been working the strategy, pitting that after that first decent run, opened up the strategy a bit for me and a bunch of people, and we got lucky with the yellow when it came out for sure. That made a bunch of people, and that was really thankful. Neil staying out really,
yeah,
because that was kind of a weird dynamic having a race with all the lap cars trying to race us, me and Dakota, in the lap, and I'm racing Dakota at the same time. So that was kind of a weird, interesting dynamic, kind of like the old NASCAR days. But once the second yellow came out, yeah, it was all about keeping it on the bottom, and then all the chaos was going on behind me, and I was like, that doesn't look fun. But I wasn't really, for about the first 8 laps or so, 6 laps of that green flag run, I was literally honed in on the white line, and I just kept it on there and didn't look at my mirror until all the chaos started happening behind me. So
yeah, now this race, when you said at Michigan, that it was coming. I bet I can understand holding that white line, being in the lead. That is coming.
Actually, that's more nerve-wracking because you're afraid
Really?
to hit the apron. Yeah, I mean that's that when you're on top running in the pack. I find that like, all right, we're just trying to find air, and
Yeah.
running that line is kind of stressful because you're just afraid to clip it, and so it's not really that calming on the bottom either.
We did have one car, I think, clip the apron. One of the cautions was that. I don't recall exactly who that was, but either way, you took the victory here. Doubleheader tonight. You had some issues over in the Roval, but still a strong run there. With considering the issues that you had to come home in fourth, so heck of a run there too.
That race, starting the pole and then the lock up into that corner.
Yep.
That hurt, and then Caleb was almost like Checo Perez. I mean, he just was really good defending, and I tried too hard to get past him, and that's when I unfortunately I don't even know who I caught. I said sorry to them, but the good news is if I end up getting a penalty because of that, it's Indy next race, and it's obviously proved I can come from the back forward, so that's a plus.
Sounds good. Well, hey, as always, you have Midwest Kidney Warriors on the side of that car. You want to give them a shout out? Say what you can say about them.
Yeah, absolutely. Midwest Kidney Warriors, excellent group as always. I always say that, but they really are. And the Shane also. I saw Shane for the first time since his transplant Monday. It was really good to see him after that. So everything is working exactly how it's designed to. So no issues at the moment with him. Today or yesterday was the first day he didn't have a tube in him in 2 years. So that was pretty cool achievement for him to have that happen. But yeah, thank you to Shane and the Midwest Kidney Warrior group. Thank you to all the admins here that help run the league. And then thank you to Gary, who I ran tonight. He wasn't too bad out there. And then you, of course, Matt, for doing the broadcast.
Yeah, Gary's up in the booth here, by the way. He could say something.
Gary was ripping it, dude. He was ripping it at times, so...
Yeah. I just decided we banked on a slightly different pit strategy, and it cost me. And then, we could talk about my race later. But congrats, man! That was great on you, and there were a lot of tense moments out there. So patience and luck and skill definitely pays off. So congrats.
Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it.
Yeah, great win, Nate. And you will definitely be, I think, taking over. I think Caleb might have met you with the championship points after the first race, but after this one, I think you'll be back in the lead again. So we'll see.
Yeah. Being next to him at the hip, I guess, for the first 4 rounds of the season can't be too bad.
Not too bad. All right, take care. We'll see you. We're off next week, but back in a couple of weeks for Indianapolis.
All right, thank you.
Yep. All right, we'll bring up Caleb here. Hey, Caleb. So I honestly, I almost had to say, I brought you up. You were 12th, and you were a lap down. I was like, there's no way. I didn't say it, but in my mind, I was like, there's no way Caleb's going to get back up there. But it happened. You went for it. Neil was fuel mode 5. So you were able to get by him. You got your lap back, and then you got that caution, and then you're back in the podium. So
yeah, you weren't the only one thinking that. I definitely did not think that was going to happen. I still don't really know the reasoning behind that, other than to be funny, because some discussions happened on the radio. So I don't know, a little frustrating. But eventually got the lap back. I got fresh tires because there was only 3 or 4 guys. I got that initial wave round because we were ahead of the leader. So, and then just from there, tried to take advantage of people getting over ambitious and missing the bottom, and I got around one guy around the top, and then from there I just took a wide arc in the corner, kept it low, let people wash up, and just try to get my nose in where I could, and it worked quite a few times. So, I don't know how that happened, but a little frustrating. It's third, second out of 4 races. Good problem to have, I guess, but still a little frustrating.
Well, only driver here tonight to be on the podium in both races, so I think that's pretty good thing to happen. You didn't get the top of it, but still.
Yeah, I'll take it. Podium in every race so far, so hopefully to keep that streak up. But would really like to get the top spot. because that's just been that last little piece missing. So,
well, what better place than where we're going next race in 2 weeks? Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
exact.
We all know what to expect there. It's seriously like the track that all of us have run like more hours than any other track. I guarantee is in Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So,
Yep.
yeah. So,
as virtual IndyCar drivers and IndyCar fans, that's to be expected. So,
yeah, it really is. So,
interested to see what the setups are for that and how to approach qualifying in the race, and hopefully experience kicks in and can get another win there. So that'd be pretty big for the season for sure.
That is going to be tricky because there is the 4-lap average, of course, which even a 0x will invalidate. So,
yeah.
Well, we'll see you back. Hey, you already gave shout-outs to sponsors earlier, but you can go ahead and do it again. That's what you've earned that right.
Yeah, well, obviously, again, thanks to you guys broadcasting both races. A bit of a long night.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks to family as well. I know there's probably quite a few watching here and there. So thanks to you guys. And again, glad to get a double podium. Just missing out, I guess, on that win. But overall, a good night.
Sounds good. We'll see you back in a couple weeks, Caleb.
Sounds good. See ya.
All right, Gary, let's talk about your race for a moment. I didn't exactly see where you did get a lap down and then you got that dreadful lucky dog. What, right? Is that what you got back?
Yeah, that's eventually what got me back onto the lead lap was the league's lucky dog. But I like Neil. I like Neil a lot. I really question what he was doing out there by staying out. And then he was driving. I got caught up behind him, and he held the bottom, being so slow.
And 8 or 5,
that allowed Kresge to get a run on the outside of me for a position. And then when the caution came out, Kresge had the lucky dog at that time. So that was like two cautions from the end or something like that. So then it was a matter of me. You know, I'm hearing people on the interview talking about the lap trap of staying up with the leaders. I had to, because I needed to get my lap back, and eventually I did. But Neil staying out really screwed me, really screwed me. And I don't understand the logic of it, considering he didn't make it and then ended up getting wrecked. But
yeah,
I just. But the good thing is I put on a good show for Schaeffer's. Schaeffer's, of course, the title sponsor of the Revolution IndyCar League here in the Schaeffer's Cup. So I hope they got a lot of screen time. I hope I made them happy and proud. It was a breeze. I took it from 15 up to the front, got some track position, kind of held there as the tires went away, and then the aggression level was like set on high for like just about everybody in this race for some reason.
Yeah.
It was. And I even had 8 incident points, and I didn't even have any damage on my car. I think someone tried to send it up the middle. It might have been a Sidro. Tried to send it up the middle on me, like 30 or so from the end or something. And even Hayden Herman said he's coming. And I'm like, just because you got to run doesn't mean you have to plow right on through. You can roll right out of it if you want to. And he continued to send it in through, and then I felt the contact, and he ended up spinning up. And I think he took out a couple other cars behind him, but. It's just you got to be smart with these races. Just because you got to run doesn't mean that you have the right to pull out and decide, well, I have a run, so therefore I'm going to take the spot. So, that was it. Just Neil's decision to stay out is what really screwed me. But I had a fun time racing with the guys. I don't care if we say we weren't doing team racing. I was going to help out the guys if I could, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I stayed out in that pit stop. So it was really wanting. Me and Gavin and Caleb to try to run away, but we had used tires, and then eventually the pack caught us with about 5 laps or so, and there it was. But so kind of happy, but also kind of upset because a futile effort kind of screwed me.
Yeah. Well, it was a good run, Gary. You were making it up. You were up into like podium position at one point in time, so it was a good run for you.
Yeah, I felt good. Car felt good. A lot of what we learned at Velocity Online Racing at Chicagoland paid off well here. A lot of the same bar settings and weight jacker settings did great. So I don't have nothing really negative to say about how the car performed. And then you'll see me next on the track at iRacing Super Speedway again in the Schaeffer's car.
Yeah, I have to check when that even is happening. Let's see. That will be January 19th. So there we go. 75 laps at Store Brand Cola 225. All right, that was once. That's a joke for those that don't know, because it was once called Coca-Cola Super
Super Speedway,
and
yeah. And they could not obtain the
licensing for
licensing
such.
in time or the permission in time. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
So
but I hope everyone at home had a fun time watching. It was, it was death defying, certainly in the car.
yeah. Well, good run, Gary. And that's going to be it for us here tonight from Race First. So thanks, everybody, for watching. And we'll see you back in a couple of weeks. It'll be Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the... It's actually... We have a title sponsor for that race, Gary. It's called the Heineken Financial 300.
Oh, the racing capital of the world. We'll see you there.
Yes. So, of course, the Indianapolis 500 would never have a title sponsor, would it, Gary?
No, it shouldn't.
Yes. All right, everybody, take care, and we'll see
Good night.
you. Have a safe holidays, and see you back after Christmas.